Hi, I'm Gary Hennerberg. I'm the author of What I Learned from You, a tribute which I wrote for my father about 7 life lessons that he taught to me. These were lessons that I learned from him by simply observing him as a role model. These weren't any things that he sat down and talked to me about or lectured me about, but rather I learned them over a lifetime. Now, if you're like me, you probably haven't quite appreciated your father at certain times in your life, but I like to think that most of us begin to appreciate our fathers as we become older in our lives. Certainly, that's what happened to me. And when I realized all of the things that he had taught me just by being that role model while growing up on the farm, that I felt those were things that I wanted to somehow reflect back to him so that he would know that I actually listened and picked up on all of those things. So I sat down and I wrote this tribute called What I Learned from You. And there are 7 of those life lessons in there which I learned, and I'm very proud to share them with the world. And in fact, when I wrote these for my father in honor of his 75th birthday, I sent them later on to advice columnist Dear Abby. She picked it up and she printed it on Father's Day, and it went out in over 1,400 newspapers with a combined circulation of over 110 million. So with that, let me tell you about those 7 life lessons one by one and give you a flavor for what they are. And I invite you to go to the website and be able to read them in more detail. But the first one is to make hay while the sun shines. In effect, when times are good, to take advantage of that and to go out and to do some really great things. Number 2 is to sharpen tools on a rainy day. Because after all, not every day is going to be good in our lives. And when those things come along where we hit a rough patch, that's the time to go out and strengthen yourself by reading and doing the kinds of things that one has to do to maybe reinvent themselves. Number 3 is to do 2 things at once. For me, it's the art of multitasking, the ability to get more things done and to be more productive. Number 4 is to keep machines cleaned and maintained. And by that, I see that as how you take care of your things, your home, your car, your various possessions. By keeping them cleaned and maintained, they last longer and they hold their value much better. Number 5 is to stay between the lines. You see, I believe that when you stay between the lines, it's a character building and reputation building factor, and to having that strong in your life is a very, very important part of a lifelong lesson for you to take with you. Number 6 is to take the high road. And by that I mean that there are going to be some instances and circumstances where you find that things aren't quite the way you want them to be, and sometimes you really just have to step back and take the high road in whatever it is that the outcome may be. And number 7 is to go to church every Sunday and to trust God. And by having belief in a higher authority, I believe that you can be much more positive in your outlook on life, and that you can take some ability and peace in knowing that everything is going to be all right. I invite you to read all 7 of these on the web and apply them to your life. Be a role model to your children. Reflect about the people who are around you and how all of this may impact them. And I believe that you too are going to find that what I learned from my dad are things that you can learn and apply in your life as well.